Hi, and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica, and we are going to tap into your goddess energy or your feminine, your divine feminine energy to empower and enrich your life. So, if you are new here, everyone, no matter if you identify as masculine or feminine, everyone has this aspect. In fact, we have both. And we actually create more balance and the ability to create truly the direction of what we want to create through our lives by balancing these two energies. However, our world is in dire need for us to really tap into that goddess energy, and so that's what we are here to do for you. And together is to see what messages are coming through from your divine goddess and to shine some light on your life. And perhaps even if the story or whatever energy is coming through, there's going to be nuggets here for you. That's why you are here. There are no accidents. So whatever that you do not resonate with, make sure to just put it on that shelf, and it might be applicable for another time. Oh, I'm feeling it right there. Okay, there we go. So we've got Gaia. We've got Iris for communication and Gaia for earth. So those are the goddesses here today to give us a beautiful divine message. And we're going to use tarot to tap into those energies and see what is the overall message and whose energies are we are tapping into today. So we've got the Seven of Pentacles already showing up, so that is definitely very earthy. And then with Iris, the communication. Let's see what all those messages are coming through as far as what they are communicating to us. And just like the earth, it communicates a huge reflection of who we are in our worlds. So these work really in sync together. We've got the Six of Swords in reverse, so there's a little bit of some stuck energy to be able to move where we're going. So let's see how we can get to that upright, so we can move to smoother waters and what we're creating together, because after all, there is two in the boat there, right? All right, we've got the Knight of Swords. A little bit of some also ego there. I'm hearing. And that's okay. That's why we're here. That's an essential part of this earthly experience is our ego. Now, can it be out of check and can it be running rampant? Absolutely. But the ego, I heard a story once that it was like our ego is like the man in the bucket on the Titanic, and the heart is the captain of the ship. And even though there's benefit to that man in the bucket of going danger, 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 it is the captain that knows the boat, the ship, the currents and the ocean, and has that wisdom. And so when we listen to the message without letting it take over, then we truly become captains or masters of our life. So we've got the Four of Swords. We've got the Devil energy right there on the bottom. We've got the Four of Wands right there. We've got Three of Cups in reverse right there. We've got Tower. So I'm already seeing that we've got, that coming undone, and perhaps that's where that Tower moment is coming in, is we've been letting the man in the bucket rule and guide our ship rather than it being where it's supposed to be. And so because of that, we're having a coming undone of this structure and how we've been moving forward in our life. And that boils down to, as well as that communication I'm feeling, that connection to ego versus heart. Actually, let's clarify. I want to clarify the Three of Cups. Right there, and on top. Okay. So we've got King of Cups, Strength, and the World. So this ego and Tower moment, and then the Three of Cups in reverse, what I'm hearing is that we have not been in allowing to be the masters of our domain, of that communication, of truly intentionally creating in our life. The King of Cups, Strength in the World, is very beautiful. That's great energy. This is just reassuring of getting alignment with our emotions. So that heart space of that knowing. The King of Cups is the absolute knowing of one's heart. It is stable. It is emotional intelligence. It is just learning to decipher, knowing that you can decipher between that egoic feeling, that ego mind, versus what your heart knows. And so that is really what is in your way here, and the communication of that is what I'm hearing. That it's been lost in translation of you've been running off of that egoic mind for so long that the communication to be able to really pitch from your heart has been in your way. And so with the Six of Swords, you're really not able to move into those calmer waters because your ego is truly at battle with you. It is truly in the mode of being in fear. It is keeping you from what you really want. So that's easy to say, right? Okay, well, we've identified these parties, but how do we really do this? How do we really take and release ourselves from this entrapped way of being ruled by the man in the bucket? I don't know about you, but the man in the bucket, I do not want running the ship. I want that heart space to be the place where I go. So a really good indicator of what, if you are in your ego mind versus in your heart, is the ego is always in the past or in the future. It's never in the moment. And so the heart is always in the now. And it is not ruled by fear, because fear is actually the opposite end of that spectrum. And the spectrum really is a circle because we can go back around. But however, the point is that that's the antithesis of what love is. Now, wisdom plays a very big role, and that's where that sword energy does come in, of using wisdom, knowing when to heed the man in the bucket going iceberg, right? There's purpose. We are so this is a beautiful journey that our world is on of consciousness, but we really want to throw out the baby with the bathwater when it comes to our ego mind. This is something that is a part of this realm. A part of being human is our ego. It is there for a reason. And our ego mind, I have envisioned her as being this warrior goddess that from the time we're little rises up when we are being injured or hurt, and she starts protecting us. She starts building walls. She starts doing all these things to protect us, because that's very mother energy, right? And that's usually when, or father energy even, it's masculine energy of going, I don't want to be hurt. And so you've conceived both masculine and feminine aspects that are very shadowy but very protective, and it isn't always beneficial, especially as we get older, because in the same regard that it assisted in protecting us when we were children, we are now adults. And so if we let the man in the bucket, or that ego, take and run that ship, it could keep love out. relationships out, new experiences out. And so we really want to decipher what is running, who's the captain of your ship. And so the tower moment may be that communication with your ego mind. Now, the ego does not like to disengage. And it feels very scary in a lot of ways. However, we must have a coming undone before we can reassign what gets to be done and how we move forward. I do really want you to use that as your compass as to knowing where you are out, because it can be very sneaky. That ego can be very, very, very sneaky, and it's been running for so long that we can identify as it being truth. And like I said, for you to know where you're coming from, is it from the past or in the future, or is it in the moment? And that is your compass to really see if you are coming from a space of heart. Now, wisdom, communication, Gaia, the earth's energy is all-knowing, and it is always there, and it is constant. And when we tap into the earth aspect, because that is tied to our ego, we have that here. We just get to utilize it in a different way. And so what I'm seeing with this is, with especially the Four of Swords, is taking that time that before we take action on something, to really assess where we're coming from. I feel that to get rid of the ego, well, not only is it an impossibility, it just doesn't work. And to run off of the illusion that we don't have an ego anymore, that we have completely come disconnected from it, I don't believe in that. In fact, I believe that it is a tool that can be used. Like I said, the man in the bucket. If we're running a ship, we want to be able to have eyes that is on the lookout for us, and that's what that ego is. It's just creating the communication of placement of all of these pieces that are in service to us while we are here. And so, because with strength and the world here, you got the world. You've got this whole world. Gaia, this is our playground of growth, of all the feels, of all the experiences, of all of the choices that we get to make. And when we really take and tap into that energy, our communication to source is much clearer. Communication is something that not only we deserve to have, and that knowing, that communication within ourselves, once we know where all the pieces are, we can communicate to the world in a much clearer way of being that King of Cups, because we are the captain of our ship. We know when to tap in to our ego and use it and wield it. But it's a tool just like anything else. And so you have a lot of cups here. You have a lot of options. Go within to find your answers always. When we learn communication, we create community. We create connections. When we learn how to communicate effectively with our own selves, that ripples out to the people we are, because when I'm speaking to the people I love, or the people that have come into my realm, like you, being able to communicate with myself and know when there's ego mind or when there's heart, I'm going to communicate more effectively, right? So if I'm coming from an ego mind, I can look, is this fear or is this love? Is this coming from a past experience or a fear of an experience that I will or will not receive in the future? If it's in the future or in the past, you are not in your heart. Now you can say, thank you, ego. Thank you for that warning when it rises up. But you get to be the captain of your ship of going, what do I get to create? And if I'm going to communicate this, I'm going to communicate it in love and not ego. Many, many beautiful tools here. So let's go ahead and read that. I'm going to add 2 more messages right there. Oh, 2 of these. Hard now doesn't mean hard always. So what I'm hearing from that is sometimes it is hard to switch from one source of how we have been pitching into the world to another. It's kind of like starting a diet. A keto is probably the one that comes to mind. When someone stops getting a lot of simple carbs and they have to switch to that different fuel source, it's hard to switch gears, and the body takes time to adjust that. So no different than this. When we switch over from our egoic mind to our heart, it's a transition. So it may seem hard at first, but keep going. And then this one, if it hurts, it will heal. So keep that in mind. And it's kind of like the keto diet. I keep going back to that. It hurts at the beginning. It really hurts. I hate that diet more than anything because I can't think. It's hard. But is it good for me? Yes. So it's the same with this. It sometimes can really hurt, and our ego can even battle us a bit. And we just get to keep communicating. This is okay. This is change, and sometimes change hurts. One more. This one is open the doors to dreaming. So let's do this. You've got this. Just remember, life is sometimes keto. Good things take time. So there you go. So adjustments take time. This is beautiful. You've got this. Know that sometimes when it gets really uncomfortable, it's because it's for our good, right? All right, let's read these 2 on Iris for communication. This beautiful goddess and her assistance with me to learn to communicate so that I can also communicate to you. So, and here we are, right? All right, let's see. Empowerment message. Clarity is in communication is called for, as your words will have great impact on others right now. It's a wonderful time to start writing the book, telling your stories, and sharing your experience, strength, and hope with others. You have everyone's ear, so choose your message wisely. Others will also desire positive and fruitful communication with you, so get ready for some amazing new opportunities to come from these discussions. Just remember to stay open and be clear about expressing your deepest desires, always speaking with integrity, kindness, and respect for yourself and others. The Greek messenger goddess Iris is thrilled to help your words take flight. Communication improves in all your relationships when she comes to visit. Most important, however, Iris reminds you of the communication you have with the universe. You are in mutual dialogue, and now is the time to pay attention to the signs and omens in your life. Trust this important yet subtle communication. It will never lead you astray when you listen and act accordingly. So see, same thing. Everything is communication, even with our higher selves, our ego, everything, and earth. So, and we'll read hers next. The alignment message is, you are facing a moment when communication between you and others may have become disconnected. Perhaps people are withholding information from you or not being clear about their motives. Now is the time to ask for clarity and to get clear yourself. If you're sitting on the fence and are ambivalent about your direction, say that. Your alignment task is to say no to playing games, no to coercion, manipulation, and covert intentions. Take a straightforward attitude. Don't be afraid to hear what might disappoint you. Be clear and demand the same from others. The messenger goddess Iris knows the importance of clear communication, and she urges you to speak up for yourself. If you come from an environment, family, or cultural history where you have not had a voice, this might feel like you're yelling, but that's all right. Times are changing, and now is not the time to be shy. It's okay to feel awkward or flustered, but the goddess Iris brings her powers of clarity and says it is your turn to be heard. So gather your courage. The people who are important to you in the long run will listen and witness you. And witness you. And then you can engage in positive conversation that leads to heartfelt solutions. Even if your voice feels untrue and comes from a victim mentality, you must still speak what is inside you in order for you to heal or change it, or to find a way to the real truth. Let yourself be heard, and the great goddess will send strong teachers and wonderful allies for you. Oh, I love that. Yes, you are being guided now definitely to speak in clear communication, and be heard, and open up that throat chakra, and so that you can heal. And when we do show up and communicate in the only way we know how in the moment, that will also teach us what works and what doesn't. Because speaking our truth will in turn show us and where we're at and what gets to be brought out. So keep going. You're doing so great. Let's read Gaia and see what her communication on the Earth's messages that she has for you and me. Okay, here we go. The empowerment message. Being grounded, slowing down, and remaining present in your body is the message that the Greek goddess Gaia has for you right now. Perhaps you've spent too much time in your head lately and have not taken a good care of yourself as you would have liked. Get into a rhythm, make sure you get enough sleep, commit to spending more time in nature, and eat sustainably with conscious awareness. Gaia, the earth, mother of all life, invites you to pay attention to your body, for you are a creature of the earth as well as spirit. You are part of this living earth, which is the foundation for all of life that has physical form. What form does your life take? This is the perfect time to take a closer look to ensure you're happy with it. You're also asked to examine the foundation of what you are building now. Does it feel solid and stable? Now is the perfect time to focus on stability and security, ensuring you move forward in a grounded new way. The goddess Gaia reminds you that the earth is the playground for conscious manifestation, so be respectful of this truth. The alignment message. When you scatter your energy and allow fear to take root, you can become ungrounded or out of touch with your environment. You become disconnected from your true nature as a spiritual being having a human experience. The need now is to look at the cracks in the foundation of life you've built. When even one aspect of your life is out of alignment, it affects everything. Ground yourself with Gaia, the Mother Earth, and she wants you to enjoy creating the world you live in. Your alignment task is to take a fearless inventory of where, how, and with whom you live in your life. Is your energy draining from the choices you are making? Are you physically exhausted? Do you accept less than your value? Your efforts must now be to repair the foundation of your life and begin again. You will be so thrilled with the results and wonder why you didn't do it sooner. The goddess Gaia is supporting your every move. So, once again, if things don't feel stable, remember, the ego is in the bucket, the man in the bucket. He's not grounded. He is going off of always fear. There's your gauge. If it is based off of fear, is where you deserve to be grounded in your heart and go to your knowing, because the heart is all knowing. That is connected to spirit, to your goddesses, to your God, for you to really get into connection with earth, communication, proper communication, and seal up those cracks that are happening so you don't capsize. This is so beautiful, because when we truly gain communication between our heart and our ego, we really do life differently. We really get where we want to go, and we stop going in these circles of uncertainty, and we can really distinctly see the difference between who are we allowing to run the ship. So I love this message. I love that you joined me today, and I hope that it has served you in your sailing of your seas and in this beautiful earth. So thanks again. Share, subscribe, like, comment. I love feedback. So I will see you tomorrow, and have a blessed day.